Shalom Akim. Shalom, Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, V'cha HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of whom I've grown in this truth under. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. You Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations, but your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all, Baruch Thumb. Alright, so this lesson is pretty much a land back off the video that I was listening from Elder Yashawamba, and he was going into a particular comment that he had seen, and Lord willing, I'm gonna share that video, you know what I'm saying, and upload it. All right, because it's a very heavy video, you know what I'm saying. It's definitely a video that people need to be hearing in these last days, man, because based off of what the elder had mentioned, you know what I'm saying, from this comment, all right, it seems that people are starting to really realize, you know what I'm saying, and start to see the crunch that's happening, the squeeze that's taking place, you know what I'm saying. And you know, when you think about that, a lot of people, and Elder Apostle Gabar gets into this all the time. He says, a lot of y'all don't know, you don't understand, you don't realize what it is that you're a part of, man. You know? You don't realize what it is that you're a part of. You see, so, and you can't take this truth lightly. A lot of these people, a lot of these Jakes, these Israelites, you know what I'm saying, these so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Indians, you know what I'm saying, they've come into this truth for the wrong reasons. You see what I'm saying? Not understanding that there are things, you know what I'm saying, heavy things that are required, all right, to go, you know, to come in and be a part of this ministry, or be in this truth, to understand that you're an Israelite, all right, but far more to profess that you're an Israelite. You see, that's a heavy declaration that you're making. You have to understand that. You know what I'm saying? To sit somewhere and say, hey man, I'm an Israelite of the tribe of Judah, or the tribe of Benjamin, or Levi. You see what I'm saying? The tribe of Ephraim, whatever your respective tribe is, but you sit your ass somewhere and talk about, I'm an Israelite. I proclaim to be an Israelite. I believe that I'm an Israelite. You know what I'm saying? And you say that. That's you declaring war upon these this devil's kingdom, man. Either you realize that or not. Either you recognize that or not. You see what I'm saying? And you're not gonna, and it's not something that you're just going to ease your way out of, man. This is why you got so many people talking about a rapture. You got so many people talking about being taken away from the perils, you know what I'm saying, and not having to go through nothing. That's not what the Lord said is gonna happen. The Lord said you're gonna have to go through some shit. The Lord said that the servant is not above his master. Right? Now is definitely, most certainly, not the time to start to start getting weak in this thing, man. We're at the end of it. We're at the end. Okay? A lot of people get it mixed up, okay? Saying misconstrued, like the elder said, with regards to Jacob's trouble. Jacob's trouble is inevitable, and it's coming. We didn't go through Jacob's trouble yet. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people who know that they're Israelites, they like to say that we've gone through Jacob's trouble already through slavery. No, it's not. No, that's not the truth. You see what I'm saying? That's not the truth. The curses that are written of in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15 on down to verse 68, that's in regards to us breaking the laws and not respecting our end of the bargain, or end of the covenant. You see what I'm saying? That was a response to our rebellion. You see what I'm saying? That is not to be confused with Jacob's trouble. The curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, all right, that is in regards to this covenant, this agreement that we made with the Heavenly Father. We broke that agreement, and therefore we received of the consequences. You see what I'm saying? But there's a point where the Lord said, or where the Lord gave a decree that should they turn back, he will receive them again. All right? Let's get this in Kings. All right, this is First Kings. Let me see. Salakia. It's been a while since I got this one. See, let me look this up real quick. All right. All right, this is Slaki. This is 1 Kings chapter 8. All right, 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 31. It reads, "If any man trespass against his neighbor, and an oath be laid upon him to cause him to swear, and an oath come before thine altar in his house, then hear thou in heaven, and do and judge thy servants, condemning the wicked to bring his way upon his head, and justifying the righteous to give him according to his righteousness." All right, and this is the basic principle of how we were to conduct ourselves. You know what I'm saying, in terms of oaths and covenants. All right, verse 33. It says, "When thy people Yashar Allah be smitten down before the enemy, because they have sinned against thee, and shall turn again to thee, and confess thy name, and pray, and make supplication unto thee in this house, then hear thou in heaven, and forgive the sin of thy people, Yashar Allah, and bring them again unto the land which thou gavest unto their fathers." See what I'm saying? And so that was that was a prayer that King Solomon was giving. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that we went through this, through captivity, all right, through the transatlantic slave trade, you know what I'm saying, which most Israelites don't realize. They don't understand that that the so-called Latin tribes and Native American tribes went into captivity first through the transatlantic slave trade, you know what I'm saying, and to serve out Spain. A lot of Israelites don't understand that. That's why they loathe the 12 tribes chart, because they don't understand history. Okay? The Northern Kingdom dealt with the curses just as much as the Southern Kingdom. All right? Albeit at different different wavelengths, or different different terms of intensity, if you will. All right. But that was the result of us breaking the covenants. Now, when you think about that, why people are saying, well, we've been through Jacob's trouble already, is because they don't understand the prophecies. The prophecies say that we're going to come back. All right? We're going to come back to our power. But the Lord is going to prove us. You see? The Lord's going to prove us. And he's going to allow us to go through something even worse. You see what I'm saying? In order to prove that we truly believe in him. You see? The first time we got punished was based off of our lack of obedience. You see what I'm saying? But us going through this time of trouble is going to be in the means of proving our faith. Okay? And so with Jacob's trouble comes testings, comes trials, you know what I'm saying? But it's also a promise that we're going to be delivered from that. Okay? A lot of people don't realize that this test that we're being given, okay, is a means to earn the right to be able to stand before him. You know what I'm saying? Just like Yahushua. Yahushua had to go through what he went through in order to stand on the right hand of the Heavenly Father, man. He had to go through it. Right? Scriptures say that the servant is not above his master. So if it happened to him, it's going to happen to us. You see what I'm saying? So this is going to be the rite of passage to become gods again, if you want to put it that way, man, which is what the scriptures are saying. All right, with these new bodies, with the no longer being able to sin anymore, you know what I'm saying? We're going to be free from the bounds of these chains that we're in, you know what I'm saying, in this body, this decrepit flesh. You see? All right? What we're about to go through is a rite of passage in order to receive that. To go and receive immortality, man. Okay? But you gotta set in your mind what it is that you really about, what you about. You gotta examine yourself. Okay? A lot of people in this thing is starting to backpedal, if you will. They're starting to get cold feet. They're starting to get scared. They're starting to think differently, think twice about what they're involved in, man. You know what I'm saying? When we saw the new technology that these devils got, you know what I'm saying, where they can bring out deep fakes, they can bring out AI imagery, having you say things that you've never said. Okay, it's gonna be heavy witchcraft. Heavy witchcraft. And when we saw that, all right, many of us of the Brotherhood, we meditated upon that because, it's a possibility. As a matter of fact, it's a high likelihood that we're going to be, numbered among the transgressors through the use of this technology. All right. So we've been settled it within ourselves that this could possibly happen, man. All right. And that we would lose our jobs, we would lose those around us, you know what I'm saying, be ostracized. The Lord told you plainly that many shall be despised for my name's sake. Let's get that in Matthew. All right, this is Matthew chapter 24. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 9. It says, Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. You see? We're going to be hated for the Lord's sake. Are you prepared for that? You see what I'm saying? Many people who say that they believe, they don't meditate on these types of things. All right? They don't meditate on that. They don't sit and really examine themselves, really examine, hey, am I willing to be ostracized, lose my job? You see what I'm saying? For the sake of this truth, for the sake of what I believe in, for the sake of the gospel of the Heavenly Father through His beloved Son, Yahawashi HaMashiach. You see what I'm saying? How much do you believe in the cross? How much do you believe that Yahawashi died and was risen up? How much do you believe that? All right? A lot of these people, they don't understand reincarnation. A lot of these people, they don't meditate on the promises that the Lord gave us. You see? When Apostle Peter asked him, we gave all these things to follow you, what shall we have in return? And Yahawashi said, those who follow me, all right, and forsook all those things for my name's sake, all right, they're going to get it all back in 100-fold. They're going to get it all back 100-fold, man. All right? How much do you believe that, man? For real. For real. You see what I'm saying? Because you sitting here thinking to yourself that that there ain't gonna be no Jacob's trouble, man. We're gonna be up out of here soon, you know what I'm saying? All right, before all that crazy stuff happens. What do you think? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? See, these people ain't they're not occupied in prophecies, man. You see? Check this out. Slovakia. All right. Like I said, they're not occupied in prophecies, man. They're not reading these scriptures for themselves, you know. They're not opening up the book. The scriptures say that you know, through comfort of the scriptures we might find hope, man. Okay? Yahawashi said, after the tribulations will you see him again. You're not going to see him before the tribulation. You're not going to see him before, you know what I'm saying, everybody is faced with this chaotic time. You're not going to see him before that. Matthew chapter 24, verse 29, it says, immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. You see? The Lord was very clear when he said that. Immediately after the tribulation of those days. And the scriptures say that there's a time that's coming that's not going to be like any other time that you witnessed in the past. You see what I'm saying? We've never seen Michael the Archangel. Have you? You see what I'm saying? Until you see him. You know? Until you see him. But hey, man, you know, a lot of people are going to get cold feet. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures tell us this. Let's jump up. Let's stay in Matthew 24. Let's jump up to verse 9 again. It's verse 10, excuse me. It says, and then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see people that's in this truth. You know what I'm saying? People who know that they're Israelites, you know, people who were once professing to be Israelites and whatnot. Okay? And they're going to turn. They're going to turn. Why? Because they don't want, they don't want to go through the straight gate. They don't want to go through the difficult paths in order to make it to the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to prove themselves in order to get that crown. You see, the scriptures say, "Love not your lives unto the death." He that those who seek to save their lives shall lose it. All right. Let's see if I can find that. Is it? No, there's a piece of Matthew. Let me see. Let's get Matthew chapter 6. Let's hit verse 19. It says, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. All right? For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. All right? Let's go down. Verse 24, no man can serve two masters. For either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve the Most High and Mammon. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are going to make the choice to serve, to serve Mammon, and that ultimately boils down to this beast system. They're going to choose Esau. They're going to choose his system, man. They're going to choose, their life in this world, man. They're not going to choose to suffer with Yahweh Shai. They're not going to choose that. All right? Let me see. And I'm going to just look this up real quick. All right, bear with me. All right, so this is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 25. For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever shall lose his life for my sake shall find it. You see? That's what it's all going to come down to, man. You sitting here saying that there's no Jacob's trouble, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no Jacob's trouble, all right? What happens when the trouble comes? What happens when Esau comes in like a flood? We're already seeing a small portion of that in Chicago. It's going to be everywhere. I mean, everywhere, in every state. What happens when that comes on a high scale? You see what I'm saying? All they're doing is just testing the waters right now, but they going to come in with the real shit. You see what I'm saying? What you going to do then? Are you going to throw in the towel? To save your life, what are you going to do? You're going to You gonna rat out one of the brothers? One of your fellow sisters? You see what I'm saying? Those who believe in the gospel? Is that what you finna do? Are you gonna, be a turncoat? You see what I'm saying? Because you never fully believed in this truth anyway. You never fully believed. You never had any faith. You never built the endurance. All right? You never stored up the spiritual treasures, man. So what you finna do when that time comes? All right? That's a question that you got to ask yourself, man. Are you going to stand? Let me get this real quick. Let's go to Psalms. Are you going to stand for the Lord? Or are you going to buckle under pressure, man? Are you going to break? This is real shit, man. You got to ask yourself these questions. You got to ask yourself these questions, man. Truly sit your ass down and ask yourself that question, bro. This is Psalms chapter 94, verse 16. It says, "Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?" Who's finna do it? Who's finna do it? Is it you? Are you gonna stand up and declare Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai before your enemies? Are you gonna do that? Are you gonna do that? Because the scripture say that we're gonna be brought before governors and princes, you know what I'm saying? Before the nobles, meaning these elites, we're gonna be brought in front of them. All right? Are you willing to die for this thing? That's what you got to ask yourself, man. Are you going to trust in the Lord? That's real shit. You got to ask yourself that question, man. That's real talk. Because a lot of people ain't gonna make it through this. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna buckle under pressure, and they're not gonna stand for the truth. You know what I'm saying? When these things come, you got to remember what the Lord promised you. You got to remember what the Lord promised. You cannot forget that. You can't forget the Lord said that He would keep you. You see what I'm saying? You got to remember what He did for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You got to remember what He did for Daniel, what He did for King David, Samson. You see what I'm saying? All these men of old, great men. You got to remember that. You got to remember what He did for Judith. All right? You got to remember these things, man. Stand on the truth. Stand on the truth. This is Isaiah. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 41. You know what I'm saying? Here it is. We're at the end of this thing. Okay, we're at the end of this thing, and people who's supposed to be leaders amongst Israel are telling them, okay, the Bible says thou should not abhor an Edomite. You know damn well it don't say that. You know that is a clerical error. Instead of saying Adawam, instead of saying Adawam, it was supposed to say Arawam. That was a clerical error. You see, but these are supposed to be leaders in Israel. Okay? But why are they changing up the doctrine so much? Why are they doing these things? It's because they see the wolf is coming, man. All right, real quick. As a matter of fact, I got to bookmark that while I'm thinking about it. Let me see. Luke. right, Lord willing, I'm gonna go back and grab that, but I'm gonna bookmark that real quick. But let me get Isaiah chapter 41. All right, Isaiah chapter 41 and verse. All right, so Isaiah chapter 41 and verse 10. Isaiah 41 and 10, it says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. You see, behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they shall strive with thee, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Okay? Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them. Even them that contended with thee, they that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, Yahweh thy power, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob, and ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith Yahweh, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Yashar'Allah. You see what I'm saying? Right? So you gotta believe. You gotta believe that the Lord is going to protect his men. He's gonna protect his women. All right, the women. He's gonna protect the children. He's gonna protect his people, man. Okay? Those who are of the elect, those who believe in this thing, man, those who truly believe, those who have taken heed to the words of the prophets. Right? He's going to raise us up. He's going to raise us up, man. Verse 15, behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument, having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. All right? Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 20, it says, what does it say? It says, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. You see what I'm saying? We're not going to need a gun. What is a gun before the spirit? You see what I'm saying? A gun can't do anything if you yourself can manipulate elements. A bullet is made out of elements. Metal is made out of elements, man. This is what Esau wishes, what Esau dreams he could accomplish, what Esau dreams he could receive. But Esau is carnal. Our power is spiritual. You see? You got to believe that, man. You got to believe that the Lord is going to protect us, all right, and imbue his men with spiritual power. You see? All right. Let's go to Luke chapter 10 and verse 10. Verse 11. It says, not Luke. John chapter 10. Let me get that real quick. John chapter 10. Salaki. All right. John chapter 10, verse 11. Come on, pages. All right. John chapter 10, verse 11. It says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. You see what I'm saying? Yahweh Shai gave his life for the sheep, man. He gave his life for the hopeful elect, for those that would be of the elect, man. He gave his life. Okay? But it says what? It says, but he that is an hireling, and not the shepherd, whose own the sheep are not, seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep, and fleeth, and the wolf catcheth them, and scattereth the sheep. You see? These hirelings are being shown for who they are in these last days, man, because a lot of these people who's coming up on the comment boards of the apostles, the bishops, the elders and the various brothers, talking that bullshit, saying that we've already been through Jacob's trouble and whatnot. All right. They've been listening from these hirelings, man. All right? They've been listening to these hirelings. They've been getting their breakdowns from these hirelings. These jokers who don't care about the flock. They don't care about the doctrine. You see what I'm saying? They don't care about the truth, man. Okay? They keep giving that uncertain sound. That uncertain sound. That's not going to prepare Jacob for the battle. That's not going to prepare them. All right? But those of us of the true doctrine, beginning with our apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone on down, all right? We teach the truth. We're telling you to have faith in these things. You see? Believe in this. Believe that the Lord's going to send power to his men. Believe in that. You see what I'm saying? The things that you've seen go down in the Marvel comics, and the different movies, okay? You're about to see that in real life. Men flying. Men using the force, all right? But do you believe that? The Lord's going to put you to the test, man. So now is not the time to get cold feet and start to backpedal, start to be like, all right, now, this is getting too hot and heavy. All right? No, you're going to have to stand 10 toes down, man, for what you believe in. This ain't no joke. It never was. All right? It never was. Shit is about to get real, man. Okay? And this is only the beginning. So you got to prepare your mind, man. Prepare your mind, your spirit for this. Okay? Prepare to believe, or prepare to stand on what you believe. You know what I'm saying? Because during this grace period, and that's what we're talking about, man. What are you doing with your grace period? What are you doing with it? You see? During this time, you were supposed to be reading these scriptures. During the time of this grace, you were supposed to be listening to the prophets, all right, and learning these breakdowns and getting the truth within you and building up your faith, meditating. You see what I'm saying? Getting your medicine strong, man. You're supposed to be doing these things, man. Building a relationship with Yahweh Shai. With Yahweh Shai, man. You're supposed to be doing that. You see what I'm saying? So when the enemy does come in like a flood, you will have that sure foundation to stand on. And that foundation is Yahweh Shai. It's going to be a lot of people who was in this thing who's going to fall out. All right? Who's going to fall out. They're going to break under pressure. Okay? And that's just going to be all she wrote. You see? Lord willing, I endure to the end, and I pray for all of those who are listening, you know what I'm saying, who believe in these words, okay, who believe in the doctrine. Stand on faith, man. Stand on faith until death. You see, because this is the thing. Even if we, you know what I'm saying, even if I myself, I got to become a martyr, you know what I'm saying, I may have to lay down my life for this truth. So be it. So be it. You know why? Because that's not the end of the story. That's not the end of the story, man. The same way the Heavenly Father lifted up Yahweh Shai from the dead, the same thing's going to happen to the elect. You see? The elect are going to be risen from the dead. Okay? The scriptures tell you that. So, it's not the end of it. It's not the end of it, man. Those who die believing in this truth, okay, who die for the sake of the gospel, those people are going to be the first ones to taste of those new bodies. The first ones to enjoy that power. You see? That immortality. The first ones. Okay? So it's a win-win situation. It's a win-win situation. And on top of that, you know what I'm saying? On top of that, you're going to have a victory story, okay, to tell your children and your children's children and your children's children's children. All right? In the kingdom. What honor is that going to be like? You know what I'm saying? So don't fret, man. Don't fret and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Prepare to stand. You know what I'm saying? On faith. So I'm going to cut that there. I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. I know it was kind of all over the place, but you know what I'm saying? Thawada for bearing with me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say, Call Halayim La, Allah Hayyinawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Wakar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and from I've grown in this truth under. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. All right, Shalom.